What's going on, everybody? Brendan here. Welcome back to Dad Planet. Now, I'm hearing a lot of people are struggling with their sales in the month of February, and honestly, customarily, February is not a very strong month for me either. It was very slow last year in between January and March, which were great months for me. But this first week of sales has been phenomenal. So in this What Sold on eBay video, I'm going to feature 15 of the 45 items that I sold for the week of February 1st through the 7th. I like all of these. There's a lot of ones that I was sort of experimenting with, again, because I'm trying to diversify my inventory. You'll hear me talk about that as we go through the BOLOs, but this was a fantastic week. I really have no complaints, especially in a short month. So without further ado, let's get into the BOLOs. We have started off on the right foot for February. So February 1st through the 7th, this was an amazing week of sales relative to how I usually do in February. So 2,700 in gross, 1,800 in net, and then my selling cost at 27%. That's fantastic. My average sales price for all of last year's month of February was only $40. So to be at $60, that's a huge improvement. This was a great week of sales, 45 items sold. Let's take a look at 15 of them. Shout out to the retail employee who put this on the floor because I suspect that this was an item that was supposed to go to Shop Goodwill. It was sealed in the box, this receiver, unbelievable. So kudos to you for letting that slide out on the cart because I opened it, made sure that everything was brand new in the box. They had a $29.99 price tag slapped on it. I looked at comps. Comps said buy this. I picked it up without a second thought, and it eventually sold for $300.01. It is an Onkyo TX-NR 709 receiver. The buyer is $373.48 all in after shipping and tax. Again, only cost me $30. I think this probably should have gone to Shop Goodwill, and I open it because, again, it could be a box of Oreos in there for all I know. So, we don't know where this item came from. I want to check just to make sure. If I had left it sealed and it was brand new in the box, completely sealed, I probably could have gotten $400 for it. Alas, I'm happy with $300. That was a great way to kick the week off. There were two buyers for this item. So the first buyer made the purchase, made a return request, left me a scathing email saying how this item didn't work. My tape is stuck in it. I want you to refund me immediately. I'm going to send this back to you. And when you get it, I want you to ship me back my tape that is stuck in the tape deck. Okay, so I got the item back, I retested it again, and then I retested it a third time. Well, guess what? It worked all 4 times, including the first time, the original time. So the second buyer came in, purchased this, everybody's happy. It worked perfect just like it did the first time. I got $55 for it. Panasonic little mini boombox, RX-FM40. This was a BOLO at the time. If you look, there aren't a ton of comparables for this for whatever reason right now, but it is definitely a BOLO. There are consistent sales for this item, and these little mini boom boxes, you should always look for it. So the second buyer is $80.62 all in after shipping and tax. This little guy only cost me $6.99. First buyer, wherever you are, I hope your life is going okay for you because the thing worked fine. So I'm not going to send your tape back. I hope you forgive me for that. Sandal season is essentially here, and Olekai is an excellent brand for resale. These sold within maybe 3 to 4 hours of me getting them listed. So Olekai Ohana women's sandals, they were a size 9 all black. I actually sourced 2 pairs from the bins, so this was maybe $150 or so. There's another pair that I have in my inventory that is blue, like a turquoise color, and this buyer is $36.90 all in after shipping and tax. Again, getting these at the bins, a lot of them slip through the cracks, and I love picking up flip-flops and very light shoes, as you'll see coming up in the video. There's another one here that I got from the bins because you pay by the pound and you get it cheap and you make a sale like this, especially this fast. The time is upon us, so start sourcing your sandals pretty regularly. Everybody knows Birkenstock. Olekai is a great brand. Keep your eye on it because if you find it, you're gonna make some money. All right, whoop-de-doo. I sold a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles vehicle for $20, but the reason I have this featured in here is not because of this Turtle Tank taxi, which I did get $20 for, but it came in a lot that I bought on Marketplace for $30. In that lot was this massive epic sewer layer, and that's the BOLO that I was looking for. So I just parted this car out of that huge monstrosity of a playset, and I have that listed separately. So if you look at the comparables for that one, even though it's going to be an absolute bear to ship because of its size, it still commands a great amount of money. And I feel like a lot of people are afraid to list this because it's huge. Me even taking it apart and trying to like figure out what the box dimensions were going to be when I do finally ship it were a little bit crazy. But as it stands, I separated this item out just for whatever reason because I thought I could sell it quickly. It did eventually sell. I'm happy with the $20. We're just going to move on from that. But the real BOLO will come when I sell that epic layer. So look out for that if you are not afraid to ship large items. There is a huge market for people that want this style jacket, this specific Polo Ralph Lauren Harrington jacket in a tan color. It also comes in navy blue. It may even come in black. The interior on this one was like a brown plaid interior. It was a size large, and there are consistent comparable solds for this item. So I did take an offer on this. I had it listed, I think, at $49.99. I took an offer of $42.49, which I'm happy to take, and the buyer is $62.67 all in after shipping and tax. This jacket only cost me $6.99. Leather polo jackets, huge money, and this tan Harrington jacket, do not sleep on it for sure, because even though you might see a good number of them listed, I think it's like for every listing, there are 2 sales. So the listings to sold ratio is wonderful for this jacket. Keep your eye out for it. You'll see like a navy blue red interior. The interiors kind of change, but the tan exterior beige color with the little brown polo horse, great BOLO. I've never sold a guitar before. Actually, I sold a Kiss guitar, but it was like a Tumbler. It wasn't really a guitar you could play. It made noise, totally different. But this is an actual guitar. So it's First Act 222. I think the design was inspired by Adam Levine. I don't know how you get the rights to do that or whatever. They probably just paid him a bunch of money to slap his name on it. But this guitar was in phenomenal condition. I mean, it was in basically mint condition, and it sounded wonderful. It looked great. There wasn't a single scuff on it. So I thought, let me take a stab at it because, again, the comps looked okay. So I eventually did get full price for this, and the buyer is $74.16 all in after shipping and tax. It only cost me $4.99. I believe this was rolling off on a cart at a Goodwill. Could have been Goodwill, could have been Volunteers of America. But the guitar sold. I like double boxed it, put some bubble wrap around it, and shipped it out, and it got there safely. So everybody's happy. This was a great sale. First Act 222 is the style number for this guitar. Look for it. It's, you know, probably a great seller because it's attached to Adam Levine from Maroon 5. So you never know. Take a shot at it. I got a good response from the people that want to know how to bypass the username and the password for Windows when you're sourcing computers or laptops. This is a very, very good example of a computer that I bought at an auction, actually, for a very small amount of money. And they didn't have the username and password, but luckily, because I can get into it, I was able to wipe it clean, get it started, and I sold it for full price based on very good sold comparables for this model. This is a Dell Inspiron 3650. I got $150. The buyer is $188.68 all in after shipping and tax. I think I spent $15 on this auction, and I got the computer for $150. I'm selling the monitor for $100, and I already sold a printer, a Canon printer, also for $100. So a pretty good return on 15 bucks, but that video is going to take a little bit of time to put together, so don't hold your breath on it, but I like the response that I'm getting, so you may see that video in the not so distant future because that will really help people get in to computers when you're sourcing. Because even though some buyers will know how to get in, some won't, and you want to appeal to both. So you saw the Olekai Sandals. Here's another like very light slip-on. These may have cost me 40 cents. Actually, this was in one of my haul videos. So if you guys have been following me, you saw them in a video. 20 bucks, easy sale, perfect. The buyer is $25.38 all in after shipping and tax. I mean, these are the kinds of margins that make my store and my business grow. I mean, you see a lot of high margin items in my What's Sold videos. I show you the exciting stuff. Even though the price point is low, the margins are massive. So you stack a lot of these in your inventory, and it just makes it a lot easier. That way I don't have to spend a ton of money every month on inventory when you find stuff like this. Very, very light. I am actually very surprised how well Crocs sell. I don't wear them. I don't anticipate ever putting one on my foot in the near future. Those of you that love them, tell me otherwise. Maybe you can convince me. Like, I'm not so set in my ways, but I just don't wear Crocs. I never have. I don't know. Anyway, 20 bucks for these. Fantastic sale. Keep your eye out. The model is Kadee, Kadee. All right, so I sold that Kiss Tumbler. I don't remember what I sold it for, $250, $300, I can't remember. Here's another Kiss item, Kissology, like a DVD compilation that I did find at a Goodwill. It was priced $3.99. I did eventually sell it for full price, $29.99. This buyer is $36.02 all in after shipping and tax. This one had all of the booklets and the like extra pieces, of course, all of the DVDs in it. So I think it was just a matter of time, and the prices like for comps kind of fluctuated a little bit, but you know, Kiss has such a large following. Someone was going to pay $30 at some point. So I didn't mind being on the high end of this. And in fact, I don't mind being on the high end of a lot of the items that I list for sale, because the formula seems to really work for me. So if you see Kissology, the DVD collection, grab it, because it's just a matter of time before it sells. You look at this item, it looks like birds had a field day on it. It's actually paint, but it's a Werner model W130-4 step ladder. Now, this thing was marked $1.99, and sometimes I don't know what gets into me, but I look up some of the weirdest things. I think a lot of people probably pass this up. But at $1.99, let's look it up. And oh, by the way, these things sell really regularly and consistently. So this is an actual BOLO. This is something you want to look out for, especially even if it's in like not so wonderful cosmetic condition. 2-foot step ladder that I sold for $34.99. This buyer is $58.05 all in after shipping and tax. If it was priced $5 or $6, maybe I would have passed it up, but at $1.99, it was sturdy. It felt, you know, well built enough, I guess. I don't know. And I brought it home because, again, I want to diversify my inventory. So like the guitar, I added this to the mix, and now, you know, I have another BOLO on my hands that I can look out for in the future. So W130-4, you look for it as well. If you can get it at a good price, you got $35 on your hands. Lululemon, it didn't take long for these to sell, right? All the right places, crop leggings, like purple plum kind of color. I had them listed for $60 and I sent out an offer and someone took it. So $51 is the offer that I accepted. They are $59.25 all in after shipping and tax. They've already left me positive feedback. I think these cost $4.99. I don't remember in that previous video if I even mentioned what I paid for them, but maybe it was $4.99. It could have been $6.99. Maybe they charged me that for the pants price. I don't recall, but still a huge margin and a wonderful return on these. They sold really quickly. I have a very similar pair of Lululemon that I sourced the same trip. Those are still in my inventory, I think listed at $49.99. So it's just a matter of time before they sell as well. Lululemon is just a fantastic brand to resell. I feel like a lot of their older stuff maybe doesn't hold up as well as some of the newer stuff. I think they even got into some kind of issues with like clothing being see-through like in the past. I don't know if they solved that problem. I don't really pay attention to it, but this pair was a fantastic BOLO. All the right places, crop legging. Look for that when you're out shopping. Disney Scentsy Buddies, they're a BOLO. A lot of them sell for really good money. This one sells probably just as well pre-owned as it does new. So I didn't have the box. This was pre-owned, but the little scent pack still smelled terrific. It was like perfectly preserved. The doll was in fantastic condition. So it's Angel from Lilo and Stitch. She's pink. I got full price for her, $34.99. This buyer is $41.90 all in after shipping and tax. This cost me a whopping $1 at a thrift store. So when you see Scentsy Buddy, I think I just recently sold a Mike Wazowski for a pretty high dollar amount. It seems to me that there's a trend here. Like a lot of these, because they are limited edition, they come back into favor once they're harder to get. So that increases the price naturally. It's the law of supply and demand at work right there. So Angel, this is a great BOLO. There probably are many others. So in your spare time, if you want to do research and research solds like I do, look for Disney Scentsy Buddies and look for other ones because there might be a lot more than just the few that I've sold. So keep a lookout for them. Napoleon Dynamite. I feel like that movie gets funnier as I get older. I didn't think it was that funny when it first came out, but I think it is like ridiculously hilarious now. So I don't know if that says anything about me and my maturity level, but I think it's a pretty funny movie. And it's just getting funnier. So this was a promo shirt from 2004. I can't remember if it was Universal or not. I don't think I put that in the title, but there were comps that were like sort of in this price range. And then there were some listings that were all over the place. Like somebody wanted 150 or something like that. And so I thought, you know what, this doesn't look like a huge seller, even after going into Terapeak and like checking the internet just to see if maybe a couple had slipped through for $80 or $90. I didn't see that. So I priced this at $30 and it did eventually sell. It didn't sell right away, but I'm happy with the $30. I only paid $1.99 for the shirt and the buyer is $36.78 all in after shipping and tax. So 2004 promo shirt. We've all seen the Vote for Pedro Ringer t-shirt that sells really well. And I think they reissue that like every year. So it's kind of hard to find the older ones, the older versions, but Napoleon Dynamite shirts, they're going to sell. And this one, the fact that it was from 2004 probably had a little bit more appeal than some of the newer ones. So if you find it, now you've got a comp to go on, but look for any of the older Napoleon Dynamite stuff. Maybe not necessarily the newer stuff, but the older stuff will probably get you a little bit more money. So there's another one that I had to take a little bit of a chance on, this Merrill Vago like mid boot. When I touched it in store, it felt nice. And again, there weren't an absolute ton of comps, so you had to take a little bit of a chance. And I think I paid $5.99 for these. I think it was marked on the bottom of the boot. I don't exactly remember, but it is in one of my like previous haul videos. So I eventually took full price for this. I'm happy with that. $39.99 I thought was a fair price. Again, the like when you know it, you know it. These felt like a quality boot, and it was in decent enough condition. So this buyer is $54.19 all in after shipping and tax. Again, that's another great return on an item that you kind of had to hold your breath on because there weren't an absolute ton of comps. But I think I'm at a point in my business or in this experiment where the chances that I take that don't have tons of comparable sales on them still seem to really work out for me. So this is a good example of one you could probably take a risk on now that there's enough data to support making this purchase if they're in good enough condition. So look for it, Merrill Vago. If you are at a Disney store retail location and you're there before they open and you're lucky enough to see a cast member come out, they will hand maybe the first person there, and hopefully that is a child, a big large key to open the store. And once you're able to do that, they grant you a smaller ceremony key to take with you as a way of saying thank you and rewarding you for being first in line to get into the store. And I think that's what this key is. So this is a Disney Store Aladdin opening ceremony key. It was brand new with the tags. I found this at a Goodwill, and I don't remember what I paid for it. I mean, it was like either $1.99 up to $3.99, but what does it matter? Because I sold this for $127.49. This buyer is $182 all in after shipping and tax and customs because it did go overseas. It took me a little while to sell this because I was asking $149.99 for it, and if you look at comparable sales, they're selling way lower than that. So this was just list and forget, hold out and hope for the best, and that's what happens. And that theme really serves me well in my business. So if you happen to come upon a Disney Aladdin opening ceremony key, you can get over $100 if you wait long enough. And this isn't the only opening ceremony key that exists. There are other ones that also sell for a very high dollar amount. This is one of those ones that will slip through the cracks a lot of the times in thrift stores because they just don't know what they have. And that concludes my broadcast day. 15 more bolos in the books. I hope you enjoyed those. If you happen to catch this on Valentine's Day, happy Valentine's Day to you. If you caught it the day after or days after, happy belated Valentine's Day to you, or as my youngest daughter affectionately calls it, Heart Day. Brendan here, Dad Planet. Thanks so much for tuning in. Smash the like button, subscribe, hit the bell notifications. You guys know the drill, and I appreciate each and every one of you. We'll catch you in the next video.